in front of us now. The stage is very nearly set. Two more players, Dion Dublin, I wanted to ask you about. Tim Vickery said yesterday in Brazil was Valentine's Day. Marquinhos and Gabriel, who hugged each other tight when Gabriel missed that penalty in the Champions League final for Arsenal against Marquinhos PSG. Back together, and what a pair.
Yeah, and you know what you have there, Steve? You could tick most boxes: experience, bit of pace, aggressive, can play on the ball. One will go up to head the ball, one will go in behind. They know each other so well, Steve, and I do believe if they can play really well, keep those wingers tucked in as well, Rafinha and Vinicius, it's going to be hard to score against them, but how can you write off Morocco? Their record so far, Steve, and that's what they haven't lost for 25 games or something like that, Morocco. So they are in great form.
I'm 40, but you're obviously older, Ian. What do you think when you think of Brazil?
Undoubtedly, I am older, that's not in question. 1982, possibly the greatest side never to win a World Cup. Socrates, Falcao, Eder, Zico. It was superb, that side. An iconic game against Italy.
Dion?
Yes, Steve? You got a question for me?
When you hear Brazil, what's the first thing you think of? What's the team? What's the players that come to your mind?
I'm a little bit older than Deno, so I think I'd probably think the same thing, Steve. Zico and all those players that we used to watch back in the day. And at home, in my house, my humble home in Leicestershire, we always used to want to watch Brazil. My dad was obviously a Pelé fan, and my older brothers used to watch the Revelinos and the Jairzinhos. I came in at Zico and Socrates, and you can't not be excited about watching Brazil, whether it's on the TV or here now. How lucky are we?
So lucky, and so delighted that we can bring you this commentary. There's a great countdown going on around the MetLife Arena. On the pitch in front of us, a huge Brazil flag and a huge Morocco flag, both almost the size of the entirety of the halves that they sit in. Gold and blue, electric lighting zooms around the stadium. 8 Mile comes out over the speakers. It's the kind of occasion which doesn't need that extra drama. It's a World Cup, and it's Brazil, plus the African champions, Morocco. And we are so nearly ready to go here in New York, New Jersey. That's what the official name of the stadium is. We're about 20 miles from the Hudson, but the World Cup just feels like it has descended here en masse. They talk about diaspora when it comes to all the nations of this tournament. New York is the perfect host city because it's flooded with different cultures, all kinds of sport. Later tonight here, it will be all about the New York Knicks. And can they win their first NBA title in over 50 years? That will be in the raucous inside atmosphere of Madison Square Garden. But this is open air football. This is the World Cup. Brazil versus Morocco. As Carlo Ancelotti, the Brazil head coach, emerges from the tunnel down beneath us, the man with multiple Champions League victories, the man who is leading this Brazil side as the first man from outside of the nation ever to do so. And what a Herculean task it is for Mohamed Ouabi as well, Dion, the Morocco manager, to take over from Reguagui, who got them to that World Cup semi-final. That is some ask for him.
Yeah, and some pressure as well, Steve, but he won't mind it. I mean, he would have come here with that run behind him of all those lockouts, no defeats for Morocco. He'll come here with confidence. He'll look at his team, he'll look at his squad in the dressing room, and he'll think, yes, I'm happy with what I've got. I've got the quality, I've got the balance. It's now down to me to put these players in the positions that can affect this football match.
And there is that Brazilian yellow in the tunnel, as bright and brilliant as it could possibly be. Casemiro, the biggest and widest of grins on his face. Gabriel, 1,000-yard stare on his as the Brazil players wait to take the field here. The temperature has mercifully just dropped a tiny little bit. Not that it will be a big obstacle for the players of Brazil or Morocco, who are almost ready to join us. The referee is just chatting to the Brazilian captain, Marquinhos. and behind him, Dion Allison, who we haven't even spoken about.
I know. I mean, Steve, we can talk about both of these squads and we can talk about individuals. I think today's going to be all about passing the ball, keeping it nice and steady. Do not give the ball away because, as we've said, it's roasting here and it will be more roasting down pitch side. So keep hold of the ball, stay tidy, otherwise you're going to be chasing in the heat and it will affect you. So look after the ball, create chances.
Ashraf Hakimi, a big hug for his PSG teammate there, right out in front of him. Marquinhos, the two captains, the Champions League icons now, you have to say. Don't forget, we've got full commentary coming your way at 2 a.m. of Scotland's return to the World Cup for the first time since 1998. Their Group C opener is against Haiti. By the time that kicks off, though, we will know whether the record winners, Brazil, have started their World Cup with a victory against the African champions, Morocco. Well, they've been booming Eminem out for long enough. It's time for the teams to take the field. 82,000 strong, helicopters above the stadium, white fluffy clouds, perfect football conditions. Brazil and Morocco open their World Cup in New Jersey, and here inside the MetLife Arena, Dion Dublin and Ian Dennis.
Thank you, Steve. A World Cup is not a World Cup without the boys from Brazil. They are the only nation who have appeared in all 23 editions of the World Cup. And as they walk down the side of the pitch here in this cavernous, bowl-like arena that will host the final in 36 days' time, they will hope that they are competing for what would be a record 6th World Cup title. Carlo Ancelotti, the first non-Brazilian to lead Seleção at a World Cup. Penny for his thoughts. One of the first things that he did was to restore Casemiro to the Brazilian starting 11. His experience, his know-how will be vital. But they are going to face a real test here against Morocco for what is, Dion Dublin, the best game in the entire group stages of this extended World Cup.
Yeah, I think there's a lot expected of both of these sides, not just from their supporters and from us, the media, I think from themselves as well. They'll want performances, strong performances. Not one individual can be carried today in this heat. You have to do your job, you have to do it well, and you'll give your team a chance.
The blue and gold fills the entire centre circle of the FIFA branding, the FIFA World Cup 2026. And around the entire centre circle, the 26 players have gathered of the competing squads, as now we have the national anthem, starting with that of Brazil. It's a roar to send a shiver down your spine. We could be in the American art. Brazilian supporters inside this stadium outnumbering the Moroccan counterparts by 4-1. However, those in red now will make themselves heard for the Moroccan anthem. And they did make themselves heard. There is the odd smattering of red interspersed with yellow, the dominant colour for this three-tiered, steep, bowl-like stadium. But then there is a large chunk of red in the bottom and middle tier away towards our right-hand side under the clear blue skies and the sun shining here in New York, New Jersey. But overwhelmingly, it is Brazilians who are here inside this stadium.
Yeah, it is some spectacle. It really is. We are up in the gods, I've got to say, and luckily in the shade. We've just found a bit of shade, which is very, very nice. But I can't believe the amount of yellow shirts. What is it, 80%? 90% yellow shirts. But all the red shirts of Morocco have definitely stuck together in a nice little area there. So they can all be heard, they can all hear each other, and they can sing their songs together.
There was actually a little tifo display in the middle tier. There was 5 Brazilian players. I made out 3 of them, Pelé, Romario and Ronaldo, before the first 2 had been taken away. As the pitch quickly is cleared here in the MetLife Stadium. This is the first of 8 games that it will host, culminating in the final, and this is the team news. Alisson in goal. They've made the one change from the final warm-up game for Brazil that was against Egypt on the 6th of June. Wesley, who actually is pulled out of the tournament through injury. Gabriel coming in, but Gabriel partners Marquinhos, and Roger Ibanez actually moves across as right back. Douglas Santos is the left back. Alisson is in goal. A midfield of Casemiro, Bruno Guimaraes, Rafinha, Paquetá, Vinicius Junior and Igor Thiago for Brazil. If you've ever seen them and they're not wearing yellow, you'd be disappointed. And they are wearing that lemon yellow and the blue shorts and the white socks against Morocco in their traditional colours, the red shirts and the green shorts. And they too have made one change from their final warm-up game that was against Norway last Sunday. Ezel Zauli actually went out through injury, so he's since been replaced. But El Kanous, formerly of Leicester City, is the one who comes into the side. Bono is in goal, Hakimi, Riyad, Diop and Matraoui is the defence. And then you've got Boadi, Ouani, El Ainaouri, and then you've got Brahim Diaz, El Kanous and Sabari who will be up front. But this is the only clash in the group stages, the only fixture that will feature 2 teams that are currently in the top 10 of the world rankings. It's 6th versus 7th. We're also, incidentally, live on Radio Scotland as the hours and the minutes tick down to kick off in Boston. You'll hear that game both on Radio Scotland and 5 Live as Group C gets underway. And incidentally, that match will be replayed on BBC Television and the iPlayer at 7:30 in the morning if you're a little bit bleary-eyed. But I'm sure if you've waited, 28 years for your first warm-up game, first World Cup game for Scotland, then you can handle a 2 o'clock kickoff.
And the bleary eyes as well. Take it all, take it all, take it in your stride. Remember it, savour it. Scots, it's a great time for you.
And this is a great game to get Group C underway. Scotland will play Morocco in their second match, and then they finish off against Brazil in Miami. on June the 24th. But these are the two heavyweights, and there is a real sense of anticipation, and there aren't many empty grey seats as we're underway, with Morocco in their red shirts playing from right to left as we look. There was a lot of traffic problems making their way to the MetLife Stadium. I was fearful that there was a number of grey seats that were empty a short while ago, and I think that might have just been on that far side, them sheltering from the sun and wanting to get to their positions as late as possible. But in the shadows down below, Morocco coming forward on this near side with El Khanous, and they lose the ball, and then Ibanez will play it forward, and there was Casemiro just to tidy up and back towards Alisson, as already the Brazilian supporters are up and dancing in their seats, Dion.
Yeah, I mean, just watching Brazil in this yellow kit, it's the first time for me, and it feels pretty special, I've got to say. And they're just playing the ball the outside of the boot. It's what you remember about the Brazilians. But Moroccans there in a really nice, tidy shape, making sure that the Brazilians don't play through them.
Referee, incidentally, is Slavko Vincic, the Slovenian referee who took charge of the Champions League final in 2024 between Real Madrid and Borussia Dortmund. As the Moroccan supporters are responding as well. Great atmosphere, waving their red flags above their heads as Morocco now come forward, and it's over the halfway line. Sabari will carry it out towards Hakimi, coming forward, trying to step his way inside the penalty area, and then the ball goes up towards the halfway line, and then it's with Issa Diop of Fulham, a former French youth international who actually switched his allegiance only in March, so this is just his 5th appearance for Morocco, as 3/4 of that back line play their football in the Premier League. Matsraoui for Manchester United, Diop of Fulham, Riyad of Crystal Palace, and then Hakimi, who will hope at this World Cup, should they progress, that he will become just the second centurion for Morocco. Ibanez waits to take the throw for Brazil in front of Carlo Ancelotti, debonair as ever in his suit. He must be boiling down below at pitch level in the suit in these sticky conditions, as Morocco get the ball out towards El Khanous on this near side, the left. Ibanez with a foul, free kick to Morocco. 2.5 minutes played. Dion Dublin.
Yeah, that's good play, that is. El Khanous there realising he's one-on-one, knowing he might have the beating as well. And Hakimi down the right-hand side, even though El Khanous is going down the left in his one-on-one, Hakimi's flying down the right-hand side as if to say, if he goes past him, I'm going to be in a goal-scoring position. We'll be seeing that all day.
Well, El Khanous is going to take it. You'd imagine this would be an in-swinging free kick. About 6 yards in from the left touchline. Morocco playing from right to left as we look. The beat of the drum somewhere inside this vast stadium. El Khanous takes it, flicked off the head of Paquetá towards the far post. And then running back is Igor Thiago, who will clear for Brazil, but Morocco pick it up once again. And then this is with Matsraoui, who's right of the centre circle on the halfway line. And Morocco just chip the ball across then towards Bouhaddi with his bushy hair. He's another one who's switched allegiances, former French under-21 captain. He did so just a month before the World Cup, but he's highly rated as the Lille midfielder. And then back towards Riyad, and now with Diop at the back, and they play it patiently across towards that far side, keeping the ball very, very well. 4 minutes played. Matsraoui as left back for Morocco, short forward ball. Sabari had dropped short, and then they've given the ball away, and Brazil now have it. And it is with Paquetá, tries to win it back, lunges into the challenge, couldn't get there. El Khanous was too sharp for him. Back it goes to Bono, all in a light blue for Morocco, short sleeve, gloves, bright orange boots for a very experienced Moroccan goalkeeper. And now an opportunity for Ouani. And Morocco have Hakimi out wide on the right-hand side. Back towards Owenai. Bypasses Bouhaddi. Diop will keep it back for Morocco and gives it back towards Hakimi. Infield. Good play by Morocco. 5 minutes in. Good vocal support too. Hakimi right-hand side of the area. This is Brahim Diaz, shot charged down, knocked up in the air and sliced somewhat out of play by Casemiro for a throw to Morocco. They started well.
Good play, you know, by Morocco down that right-hand side. I think Bouhaddi should have given it to Hakimi a little bit earlier. And now we're there supporting on the edge of the box, nearly gets his shot off as well. Morocco being really patient in this final third, just trying to draw those Brazilian defenders out.
El Khanous twists, turns, shimmies a little bit as well. Mazraoui not used on the overlap, but now they find the Manchester United player level with a penalty. He is away from the challenge of Ibanez. It'll fall here to Morocco, and the shot comes in from El Ainaoui. It was blocked and cleared out towards that far side. But it's been a confident start here by Morocco, 0-0. And Brazil are struggling to get out.
Yeah, they can't get out their final third because Morocco are just jabbing away and just making sure they can find those little gaps. But what a chance for Ainaoui there. He's only 15 yards out. He's got to hit the target with pace. He absolutely fluffed his lines. Great chance.
Khanous strikes from distance. Brazil are able to clear. Diop will win it back. Said to you about how they pressed aggressively against Norway in that final warm-up game, and at the minute Brazil can't get out of the half and the ball is played forward. And this is Hakimi who shoots across the face of goal, right-footed. It was never going on target, it was always going away from goal, out for a goal kick. But I would imagine that Mohamed Awabi, their coach, who only took charge in March, will be very pleased as to how they've settled.
Yeah, it's a really good start. I mean, it's a great strike from Hakimi. He's on the angle, he's not got a great angle to strike the ball, but Khanous at the far post, if he just gambles and just gets it in that far post, he's got to tap in. He's waiting to see what happens. Hakimi across the box, rolls out harmlessly for a goal kick. Got to do more there, Khanous on the far post.
Brahim Diaz picks up the ball for Morocco. Sabari makes the run ahead of him. In the little bit of the shades there of the roof, there's then a shaft of sunlight as the ball is played by Riyad towards Mazraoui on the halfway line. El Ainaoui won back though by Brazil and Rafinha, and this now is Thiago. There was no real width to begin with, and he drifted out towards that left-hand side. Rafinha, rare chance in these opening 8 minutes for Brazil at a walking pace to come into the Moroccan half. Ibanez. Back then to Marquinhos. Arsenal's Gabriel. Marquinhos to his right. Brazil is the chance from inside this incredible stadium that holds 82,500 people. Casemiro, forward ball. Rafinha to shoot, charged down. Mazraoui able to control it. Bouhaddi now with the bushy hair for Morocco. Gives it to El Khanous, and Bouhaddi continues his run. And Bouhaddi might open up for him here. El Khanous, Brahim Diaz with a shot, blocked by Gabriel. Hakimi then runs into Gabriel and commits a foul, and it'll be a free kick to Brazil. 9 minutes played, 0-0.
Good play, Gabriel, that is. Really good play. I mean, Morocco could have had a shot 3 times there, but he put his body on the line when the shot came in, and then he had to get up off his feet as well because the ball just ricocheted back in behind him, and then a collision with Hakimi. But again, he put his body on the line to make sure that ball went nowhere near his keeper. That's good defending, and that's why they are such a good pair in him and Marquinhos.
BBC Radio 5 Live, available on BBC Sounds. It's also live on BBC Television is this one, and you can watch the commentaries and then get the 5 Live commentary through the iPlayer or indeed the BBC Sport website. As Alisson of Liverpool gives it to Gabriel, back to his feet. Goes to his right, Marquinhos. Paquetá was a heavy touch, and he's been dispossessed by El Khanous. And El Khanous on the inside. Opportunity here for Morocco. Oh no, he couldn't get the shot away. And then now he is then giving away a free kick. And Paquetá is a relieved man.
Sloppy play from Paquetá. What you have to do there when you're receiving the ball, he was 10 yards away from the halfway line in his own half, and he's not even checked his shoulders, tries to take a touch. It's a bad touch, and Morocco have gone. They're away. They're the with numbers as well. Red shirts flooding forward. Should have taken the shot on, took too long. But Brazil cannot afford to lose the ball in their own final third when you've got players and red shirts flooding forward.
There's a gentleman to my right, bright red sunglasses. As the ball goes up to Sabari, Sabari will shoot. That was blocked, comes out to Ouanahi on this near side, the left. Ball played in field by El Khanous. Guadi now. He's got the trademark red fez to match that of his sunglasses, and a red flag draped over his shoulders as well. Sitting in and amongst the yellow of the Brazilian supporters. Thousands of Brazilian fans inside the MetLife Stadium. Mazraoui. But I would say that Morocco are dominating the possession. I can't see the possession stats, I'll try and find it for you. But they've seen a lot of the ball in these opening 11 minutes as El Khanous in field. Mazraoui forward. Sabari has made the run ahead of him. Marquinhos able to clear. And then Bruno Guimaraes falls to the floor and gets a free kick, 62%. Free kick to Brazil. Guimaraes of Newcastle United was happy just to go to ground because they've struggled to get out of the half.
They have, and what they've done when they have got the ball back, Brazil, and they're trying to play the ball into midfield, their midfield players aren't holding on to ball, they're not checking their shoulders, they're giving the ball away again. And at the moment, Issa Diop and Riyad in the centre-half partnership of Morocco have had nothing to do really apart from just talk to each other, make sure that you're concentrating. There's not a big gap between them as well, so it makes it difficult for Brazil as well.
This is Ibanez, the right back, being tracked by El Khanous, and El Khanous with a little trip there. And the referee was well positioned. Got certainly a better view of it than we have, high up here in our lofty position. Don't think.
Have you ever been this high in the stadium? Did it come up? I don't think I have, you know.
No, I don't think I have. I feel as if I could just reach out and touch one of those white fluffy clouds. That's how high we are. With your long arms, you probably would be able to do that. 0-0, 13 minutes played. Paquetá look towards Rafinha. Rafinha holds onto the ball. Vinicius Junior is out wide on the left-hand side. Vinicius Junior now darts forward, enters the area, works over the cross. Thiago couldn't get enough on it. He tried with a downward-headed motion. It might have just brushed his forehead. He's got a rueful smile. He couldn't get the flick header.
I've got to say now that is an absolute sitter. He is 5 yards away. All he has to do is connect with the ball. Vinicius Junior goes down the left-hand side, should I say. Just swings it. I mean, he's 5 yards. He has to score. Just put your head on it. It's an awful miss, and it's the best chance that nobody scored this World Cup.
Well, it's only his 5th appearance. He scored 2 goals in his previous 4, but you think for a powerful target man and the success that he's had at Brentford, that is a sort of an opportunity that you can only dream of for your opening game in a World Cup.
Absolutely, and that situation there, having been in it many, many times and having missed chances like that many, many times, you think you've scored before you've scored. It's too easy for you. All you got to do is nod it in. He gets ahead of himself, no connection, awful effort.
Tim Vickery telling Steve that he was criticised for some of his poor touches back home in Brazil. I'm sure that there'd have been hoots of derision. Tossing the remote control away in anger and frustration at such an opportunity that was squandered.
But it's a gimme though. As a Brazilian, you have to have a silky touch. You have to be able to bring the ball under control. As a professional footballer, that's a gimme. But as a Brazilian, you've got to be able to do that before you do the rest of your silky stuff. Do the simple things well.
15 minutes played. Brazil 0, Morocco 0. Here in the MetLife Stadium, as Thiago with a clear foul on El Anawi of Roma. He's the son of Yunus, the tennis player who reached 2 US Open quarter-finals. As we get a glimpse of the great Ronaldo watching on. Imagine what he'd have thought about the chance that was missed by Thiago.
I'm taking a guess it'd be 1-0 now if he was playing.
Brazil with a throw right-hand side. Ibanez to Marquinhos. Stroke then to Gabriel. Bemoans the lack of movement in the midfield. It was extremely static. Bruno Guimaraes actually raises his left hand to apologise and then actually promptly makes himself available and then lays the ball to Marquinhos. The noise is that of the Moroccan supporters. They're encouraging everybody in red to get up, to throw your arms in the air, to stand up and to make some noise. And it's catching on as well. As Brazil on that far side, the left, will get a throw. Just the one chance that we've seen so far. Steve had said that the temperature has dropped, but it's still breathless inside the stadium.
It is, yeah. Very sticky, very humid. You can imagine what it's down there for the players, sprinting around in this heat as well.
I don't know about the players. I'm looking forward to my own drinks break in 7 minutes' time. I'll be asking you a question, and you've got to talk for a very long time, Dion.
I don't mind that, sir. I don't mind that.
0-0. Brazil in possession. Gabriel. Guimaraes drops to the side of him to his right. Here he is now. But Morocco drop off the ball. They're quite happy to sit deep and to counter-attack. They're not fazed by that. It's the style of play that we've become accustomed to with Morocco. As Vinicius Junior, so much riding on his young shoulders, comes to a central area, plays the ball forward to Paquetá. Rafinha has stayed out wide on the left-hand side as the ball goes forward and then it's headed on and picked up by Bono. And Bono looks for the early release. Downfield towards Sabari, but it's headed away by Gabriel. And here is Marquinhos. And all of a sudden now you just start to feel that Brazil are getting a little bit of a rhythm, getting their foot hold into the game, and as soon as I say that, they give the ball away. Then they win it back with Casemiro to Ibanez. Back towards Casemiro once again. His 87th appearance, recalled by Ancelotti. The previous game before Ancelotti took charge, they'd lost 4-1 to Argentina, and he'd been watching the game and he felt that they lacked balance. And Casemiro has restored that stability to the Brazilian team. Here is Mazraoui down below on this near side, the left. Riyad, a little bit sticky on the playing surface. Brazil will press and win it. Casemiro to Rafinha. Looks for Vinicius Junior. It was a sharp turn, but Hakimi was alive to the danger, and he's turned it behind for a corner kick, and then he berates his defence for not being tight enough.
Great play from Rafinha. Rafinha's taken a position in that little number 10 role, slightly deeper than the 10 role. The two centre-halves of Morocco are not sure, do they go or do they stay, because they've got Thiago to mark as well. So he's finding that really awkward position for Morocco to get hold of, and you know what he wants to do as soon as he gets on his left foot, looking for a shot, looking for that killer pass, and he nearly got his teammate in Vinicius Junior there.
A blue and white helicopter hovers overhead. That'll be providing, I'm sure, the aerial shots for those watching on television. As Guimaraes, there's not much of the playing surface that still has sunshine, but Guimaraes has found it over on that far side to left for this corner kick for Brazil. Far side to left, in it comes, headed out of the near post, only as far as Vinicius Junior, who tees up Paquetá. It was a first-time shot, a little bit off balance, right-footed, blocked, and the ball goes up towards the halfway line, and running back And tidying up is Douglas Santos, the left back, places football for Zenit and back towards Alisson. 20 minutes played, still goalless.
Yeah, that's a chance. That's a chance. It might not have felt like it to most of the fans in this stadium, but that ball's been headed from the near post and he's been headed to the edge of the box, and Vinicius Junior's there with all his quality. If he swings his foot at that and catches it, then it will end up in the back of the net. Give yourself that chance. I can't believe I'm giving Vinicius Junior some finishing tips here. How have I done that?
Here is Ibanez. Morocco, they'll win it back. Mazraoui, diagonal ball. Brahim Diaz inside the centre circle. Looks for Sabari. Sabari's onto this. Sabari with a chip. Morocco are at it again. They've taken the lead. What a cool finish that was. Brahim Diaz pierced the Brazilian backline, and Ismail Sabari latched onto it. He only had one thing in mind, and Morocco take the lead. Brazil 0, Morocco 1.
I've got to say, Sabari there is the coolest man in the stadium. He doesn't actually think he's going to get on the end of it. Then there's the miscommunication between the centre-half, which I think is Gabriel, and the goalkeeper, which I think is Alisson. Is it yours? Is it mine? Sort it out between you. They don't. Sabari's in. He actually had a bit of hesitation, then he puts his foot on the gas. Honestly, the communication between the defender and the keeper is terrible. But I have got to say, Sabari has just slowed himself down and chipped it over Alisson with all the quality you need. What a finish, what a start.
They topped their group in 2022, a group that contained Belgium and Croatia. They knocked out Spain and Portugal as they reached the last four, and that has got Moroccans celebrating, and that has silenced the Brazilian contingent here. Ismail Sabari, in his first finals, has given Morocco the lead, and a lovely goal too.
Yeah, a really nice goal actually. Brazil were just finding their feet as well, just finding a little bit of swagger. Rafinha was finding some space in that 10-0, as I mentioned. Thiago was starting to get the ball down on his chest and feel a little bit more comfortable. But I've got to say, when Morocco get the ball, they look forward all the time. They're not looking to keep it, they want to get the ball forward. And what a pass, and what a finish.
Brazil had 6 qualifying defeats. It was their worst performance since the format was introduced some 30 years ago. As we now have a drinks break here, and Carlo Ancelotti will get his players together, because he's going to have to use this drinks break to try and get some instructions across, because this goal, for a Moroccan side that likes to counter-attack now, they will sit in and they can break.
Now it's your time to get a drink while I talk. I think you're spot on. Yeah, no, I really do, because Brazil were just starting to come into it. They just switched off. I mean, Marquinhos and Gabriela have been very, very secure so far, but that lack of communication, we used to say this back in the day when I played a long, long time ago, early shout sorts it out. There's no communication between defender and keeper. Alisson half stops, defender half stops. I've got to say, Sabiri doesn't stop. He finds a great ball in between the two defenders. I'm looking at it here on the screens. He's way onside, and he puts his foot on the gas and finishes it absolutely perfectly. I've got to say, when they've had the ball, they've looked more likely to score.
That's the voice of Dion Dublin on BBC Radio 5 Live. Radio Scotland are also taking this commentary here ahead of Scotland's game live that will come to you on both stations at 2 o'clock. You get all the build-up. Haiti against Scotland, first World Cup match in 28 years. Also gives us an opportunity to tell you what else is coming up on 5 Live. Australia-Turkey, 4:45. There'll be coverage of that in the early hours. We've got World Cup breakfast with Rick Edwards at 7:05. The Barcelona Grand Prix from 2, and then the 3 matches tomorrow, because it's just relentless. Germany-Curacao at 6, Netherlands-Japan at 9, Ivory Coast, Ecuador at midnight. And don't forget Royal Ascot next week as well. 5 days of racing, starting off with the Queen Anne Stakes that you'll hear on 5 Live at 2:30. And still we haven't got round to England's opening game, which is on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. You'll hear that live in Dallas with John Murray and Paul Robinson. England-Croatia live from Dallas. But here we are in the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, and after the drinks break, Morocco are leading by a goal to nil. And a reminder that Brazil haven't tasted defeat in any of their last 20 World Cup opening matches since they were beaten by Spain in 1934 by 3-1. They've won 17 and they've drawn 3, but they are behind to Morocco. And you think about the chance even more now that Thiago missed, when really Brazil should be ahead.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he'll be thinking. If I'd have put that away, then we are a little bit more comfortable than we are at present. I think Guimarães in that middle of the park has now got to stamp his authority on this midfield if he wants to get Brazil back in the game, because Casemiro just does what he does. So it's going to be after the vision of Guimarães and calmness to get his team back in the game.
Here is Gabriel. He goes to his left, Douglas Santos, the left back. There's a challenge on Vinicius Junior, and that will be a free kick. Vinicius Junior now hits a diagonal ball, but he's overhit it. Didn't even bounce before it sailed straight out of play for a throw. I mean, Steve talks about it as well with his form that we've seen him season in, season out for Real Madrid. You know, for them, he's had 20 or more goals in 5 successive seasons. But he's not been able to reproduce that type of form for Brazil. And here they come now on the counter-attack. Hakimi. Strong run by Hakimi. Hakimi still going. Right-footed shot, dragged wide. Nobody closed him down as he got to the edge of the area. Goes down as another chance, goal kick, Morocco lead 1-0.
Yeah, and you know what? You can't travel 40, 50 yards with the ball and not have a yellow shirt close you down, and he got all the way to the edge of the box. And he took a shot on. Terrible shot in the end, but it just goes to show how quickly Morocco get forward with numbers as well.
Here is Casemiro holding off one challenge, running into Boadi. Referee, let's play continue. Mazraoui will pick it up now, runs forward, short diagonal ball. Brahim Diaz picks it up in the centre circle. Hakimi is to his right. Brahim Diaz still has Hakimi as an option and now gives it to him. Level with the penalty area. Brahim Diaz, left-footed, back towards Hakimi. Ounahi. Boadi with it coming forward, and we'll get a throw off the shins of Douglas Santos. They look a very, very well organised side.
Yeah, they do, and what they do is they do play in areas, and when they get to a certain area, there's a lot of red shirts within that area so that they can find each other in the gaps and stuff. They're never left alone, they're always helping each other out.
They can sometimes lull you into a false sense of security. The possession can be slow, then they're able to increase the tempo in that final third, playing those quick 1-2 combinations. They are a team that possesses a lot of pace, and they are leading by a goal to nil. And Brazil at the minute, not really happening for them. Morocco, 6 yards up from the byline, playing from right to left. Far side the right have got this free kick. Diop is an obvious threat with a set piece. Elanaou is also there. He makes a little run towards the near post. He gets his head onto it too. And it was a flick header out by Gabriel to clear the danger for Brazil. Picked up by the goal scorer, Sabari. Infield, Sabari makes the run. This is Sabari again. Shot was blocked. Brahim Diaz gets the ball back for Morocco, and in the end it was a rather weak, tame, right-footed shot that trickled its way through towards Alisson. But they're causing Brazil problems, and Brazil have given it away once more. I think they're abused, they're not happy. There's a lot of frustration from the Brazilian supporters inside this stadium. They've been very sloppy, Brazil.
Yeah, they haven't. They've not been able to get up to the tempo of the game, because Morocco are playing at such a pace when they've got it and when they haven't got it. But Brazil just cannot keep up with them at all. They can't get back, they can't get forward.
You've got to admire Hakimi. He's currently a right back who's playing left wing. This is Brahim Diaz, edge of the area. Brahim Diaz. He had Sabari, who just drifted out towards the right. But the movement from Morocco, the options that they've got, there's a lot of players who are interchanging. Oh, now he drills it in low, partially cleared. Hakimi, he's everywhere at the moment, Hakimi. That was a right-footed shot that was a little wild. But he raced across to this near side on the halfway line, wins the ball, motors on. He's world class.
No, he is world class, and I think that's the standard that Morocco have set themselves there. His standards, his energy, his quality. He's a winner, he's won everything. I just feel that Morocco at this present time are very comfortable with this pace of game. Brazil are not very comfortable. Every little ricochet, every loose ball is getting won by Morocco as well.
Matsraoui. El Naoui in the midfield, just outside the centre circle, back towards Hakimi. He's gone back to his more natural right-back slot. El Naoui had gone on a lung-bursting run that hasn't spotted on that far side, and Diop will go back to Bono, the goalkeeper. Formerly of Sevilla, as Paquetá to Vinicius Junior. Vinicius Junior runs forward for Brazil, enters the area. This is Guimarães. Guimarães threads it back towards Vinicius Junior. Cuts inside. Brilliant goal by Vinicius Junior. There was no stopping that. He came into this game with a lot of pressure on those young shoulders, and he has responded by firing Brazil back level. It's a game that's living up to its expectation. Brazil, to the delights of their thousand supporters, all in yellow around this stadium. We're back all square 1-1.
Wow, Vinicius Junior, wow, I'm kind of gobsmacked, because I don't know how he moves his feet as quickly as that with the ball and the control from right to left. The drop of the shoulder to go, everybody knows where he wants to go, but how do you stop it? You get there, you stop him going down the wing, he comes inside on his right, and he just hits it so early, and it goes over the keeper's left shoulder in the top corner, and there's no stopping it because there's so much pace on it. It's kind of very close to the keeper actually, but he just cannot get his arm up quick enough. It's just an amazing finish from an amazing footballer.
On his 50th cap for his country, he's now in double figures. Brazil needed that.
Yeah, they did need it as well, and it was always going to come from Rafinha or Vinicius down that left-hand side. Thiago's been looking after those two centre-halves without doing anything special at all, but they have been keeping their eye on him. And Vinicius Junior's just been floating about in that left wing, left number 10 area, waiting for that moment, and now he's got his arm up and he wants the ball all the time.
He only scored the one goal in Qatar in 2022, but he was involved in 5 of their 7 goals. And he's just gone and got his campaign up and running for this World Cup in 2026. BBC Radio 5 Live. Brazil 1, Morocco 1. And we've got about 11 minutes to go to half-time. Hakimi caught by Vinicius Junior. That will be a free kick to Morocco. Midway through the Brazil half, 10 yards in from the touchline. We've seen 2 excellent goals.
We have seen some very, very good goals, actually. I mean, the last one we've just seen there, Vinicius Junior, is just him. It's what he does. Sabari's finish as well was so cool and calm. He had a lot of time to think about it. When you start thinking about your finish, that's when you make mistakes. But we've got a free kick here for Morocco, and they've sent a lot of players forward. This is going to be Hakimi taking it. It's going to be an outswinger. 10 yards on the corner of the box, right-hand side, Hakimi's side. This will be good quality into the box.
So Hakimi's okay to take it. Brazil have got everybody back. bar Vinicius Junior inside their penalty area. Hakimi right-footed, headed out by Casemiro. This is Brahim Diaz, who'll clip it back in. Alisson has come out and has got both hands to that to punch it clear. The header from Hakimi then directs the ball back towards Mazraoui, and he'll go further back towards his goalkeeper Bono. Right-footed, long clearance over the head of Gabriel. It'll run through towards Alisson. 1-1, 5 Live.
Yeah, Alisson had to get there as well, because right behind him, just an inch away, was Issa Diop at the far post. So Alisson had to get on that cross. He had to get there first, otherwise you'd have given a penalty away. So that's good goalkeeping, gets his team up the pitch.
The Brazilian supporters now ramping up the volume inside the MetLife Stadium here. Ibanez, the right back. Marquinhos gives it to him once more, but because of the presence of 3 red shirts, he has to go further back towards Alisson, and they'll have to build from the back once more, Brazil.
Yeah, that's the way that Morocco have done it in this first half. They've made sure that they go together. Not one player has been left on their own to do any running or dribbling or passing. They've always got a teammate in and around them. It's so important, especially in this heat, that you stay as your team, you go together as a team, you defend as a team.
Morocco, of course, a co-host for the next World Cup in 2030. And Mohamed Ouabi, who's their new coach, the 49-year-old, the former teacher, he will be hoping still to be in charge. He's already brought Morocco success in the Under-20 World Cup in 2025. By many, he was the natural replacement to take over. But there is an expectation about Morocco with what they've done in the last World Cup and also the African Cup of Nations too. Bouhaddi. El Ainaoui now in the centre circle. Diop. Out it goes towards Hakimi. Brahim Diaz looks for the sharp turn. El Ainaoui was caught. That'll be a free kick. It's going to result in a yellow card as well. And that is for Casemiro, who goes into the book of Slavko Vincic.
See, that's a definite problem for Brazil. They're just off the pace of if there's a loose ball, they just seem to be off it slightly, and Morocco seem to be on the front foot. Brazil seem to be reacting, and Morocco are already there out the starting blocks, and that's happened 10 or 15 times in this first half, where Morocco have got the bits and got something from that as well.
Alan Shearer talked about it, didn't he, about the lack of legs in the midfield with Steve ahead of the game. And you think that for Casemiro, 34 years of age, struggle, I think, to see out the full 90. Free kick then for Morocco. Line of yellow on the edge of the Brazilian penalty area, goes out wide to that right-hand side. Brahim Diaz can't keep the ball in play, and Vinicius Junior acts as a cheerleader to whip up the Brazilian supporters behind that goal with a clenched right fist. Goal kick to Brazil, 1-1 here on BBC Radio 5 Live with 7 minutes to go to half-time.
Yeah, Vinicius Junior there just doing a left-back stint, making sure that ball goes nowhere near his goalkeeper's goal.
Goal kick's taken short. They try to beat the Moroccan press. Forward up to Paquetá. He gets a free kick. He's hardly been in the game, Paquetá.
No, he hasn't. He's not really had a kick of the ball at all. I don't think the midfield of Brazil have really sort of stamped their claim on this game yet. I think Guimarães has had a couple of good passes, but Paquetá can't get into it at all, and Casemiro's finding the pace a little bit too much at present.
Here is the former West Ham player, and now with Casemiro for the yellow shirts of Brazil. Marquinhos passes the ball to Rafinha, and Rafinha doesn't get any change of Mazraoui, who gets the clearance, headed forward though by Casemiro. Bruno Guimarães battling for it, Paquetá snapping into the challenge. Bouhaddi though is the one who gets it away and then links up on this near side from El Khanous, and then went slightly behind Sabari, and they were unable to keep the attack going. Casemiro passes the ball forward. Just another bit of miscontrol there, this time by Vinicius Junior. Just wonder if in the heat the ball is just starting to get, the playing surface might be dry and sticky. Here is Vinicius Junior coming forward. without wanting to say I'm name-dropping, it was something that Harry Kane had said was an issue last week in Florida.
I've heard it all now. Carry on.
Ibanez, but it will be heavily watered at half-time as Bruno Guimaraes back to Marquinhos. 5 minutes to go to half-time here on 5 Live. Trundling forward is Douglas Santos. It was a problem position for them in qualifying. They used 7 different left-backs as they floundered at times in qualifying. 3 different coaches as well. The ball is hit long. Rafinha gives chase, bouncing ball, bounces kindly and claimed by Bono, the Moroccan goalkeeper, one apiece.
Yeah, you can see with this Brazilian side that they're 2 shining lights of Rafinha and Vinicius, the ones that have got the pace and they've got the skills to just turn this game on its head. They're just wandering around in and around positions that they probably wouldn't normally be, but they want to affect the game.
Vinicius Junior picked it up, decided to run at Hakimi, but Hakimi just stood tall and Vinicius Junior was upended as Hakimi not daunted whatsoever by that prospect, as now Paquetá delivers the cross, but it's too deep over the head of Rafinha. Puts the thumbs up, but would have needed a bit of better delivery. We get a shot of Neymar down below, not fit for this game with a calf issue. They are hoping though that he will be fit enough to play for the second game on June the 10th against Haiti in Philadelphia. As El Canouse overruns that and runs straight into Vinicius Junior, but he did ever so well to retrieve it and then nick it forward to Brahim Diaz, who's now running. He's got Hakimi to his right. Here is Hakimi with the cross. And Brazil with Paquetá, back header away only as far as Hakimi. He was struggling and there was a foul on Paquetá from behind. Free kick to Brazil. 3.5 minutes to go to half-time, 1-1.
Yeah, they don't know, they seem to take so long to pass the ball, the Brazilians. They seem to have the ball at their feet and they want to take their time to get the ball out of their feet and play the perfect pass. You've got to play it a little bit quicker because this Moroccan side, they're on you. As soon as you have that ball at your feet or it's on its way to you, they seem to be there, making sure that you don't pick the pass that you want. And Brazil have just got to speed up the game a little bit. If they want to get back into it or get ahead, should I say, they've got level with that fantastic goal from Vinicius, but if they want to really start to stamp their authority on this one, move the ball quick.
Any Scotland fans who are listening to us waiting for the coverage to start of Haiti against Scotland from Boston, I would think would be wanting a Brazil win here, as Bruno Guimaraes is challenged by Mazraoui, and Mazraoui recovers well back at Bruno Guimaraes. That was a good tussle between the two, both back to their feet. Guimaraes plays it short. Boadi there is able to get it clear. Bounces away off Ibanez. And then there was a foul on Brahim Diaz, and that'll be a free kick. And the reason I say that is that Scotland-Brazil, as the yellow card is shown to the Brazilian right-back, so that's 2 Brazilian players who've been booked. But in Qatar 2022, Brazil's only defeat to African opposition was against Cameroon. It was their final match in Group G because Brazil, having already qualified, rotated heavily. And that might be the wish of Scotland, thinking, yeah, Carlo Ancelotti, qualify after your opening 2 games and then rest as many players as you wish.
Exactly. Don't worry about us. We'll just go about our business. You just get your wins and leave us alone. Scotland don't need any help. They'll look after themselves.
Certainly, though, it's why there is the pressure and the expectation on the 3 points in that opening game against Haiti. 2 o'clock kick-off in the morning. You'll hear it here on 5 Live. 1-1, though, in this other game in Group C. Brazil and Morocco, and we've got just over 60 seconds remaining. Vinicius Junior chips the ball forward. Boadi heads it away. Picked up by Owen Ali. And then it's an opportunity for Brahim Diaz to try and skip his way forward, but he's faced by Paquetá and then helped out by Casemiro. Ball played forward, foul on Rafinha. That will be a free kick just outside the centre circle in the Morocco half. 1 apiece still, Dion.
Yeah, 1 and 2 touch in the midfield for Brazil is the way to go. Morocco are taking no chances at all. They've got lots of players in that midfield area, and they are working incredibly hard as well to make sure that it's uncomfortable for them. Buadi in there is taking charge in that little 4-6 position there. He's playing passes out wide to Hakimi, Canoes, and making things happen.
So Brazil, wait to see how much stoppage time there will be at the end of this first half. In no real hurry to take the free kick. Paquetá, I think, is the player who's going to stand over it. Here comes the fourth official. So we're into 4 minutes of added time. And Morocco can break from that Brazilian free kick. Buadi is the one who's leading the charge on that far side, the right. Here is Buadi. Gets it back, 25 yards out from goal. Hakimi. With his back to the penalty area, and then Buadi once more. This is El-Ainaoui, Buadi, Diop. Every red shirt is in the Brazilian half. Every yellow shirt of Brazil is back behind the ball. El-Ainaoui just waiting. Sabari was the one who drops deep. Nobody at the minute is occupying the two central defenders for Brazil. They do like to interchange. Hakimi once again comes forward. Ball rolls back, and then Diop takes it back into Moroccan territory. And Bono, the goalkeeper, in his light blue goalkeeping outfit, doesn't get the elevation and went straight towards Douglas Santos, the Brazilian left-back. The crowd like that, as the ball was just knocked up into the air by Paquetá, and he gets it back and runs forward, running on his toes. Douglas Santos with the cross. Paquetá with a first-time effort, acrobatics, left-footed, down into the ground. Bono makes the save. Turned it away towards his left-hand side.
Difficult skill that from Paquetá. He's actually passed the ball out wide, trying to get himself in the box. The ball's kind of behind him. He's about 5 yards in front of the near post. He's sprinting into the box. The ball's kind of behind him on his left-hand side, and he just tries to swivel and get something on it. Doesn't really catch it with any pace or vigour, but the keeper's scrambling, thinking this might go in at the far post.
Had he connected properly, that might really have caused Bono problems. Corner kick, Rafinha to take it near side the right, flicked onto the near post by Marquinhos, and nobody could get the finishing touch at that far side. It was Thiago, but he was some way away from getting it.
Yeah, he was, and it's a difficult one because it's a very flat corner from, I think it was Rafinha that whipped that one in, and Marquinhos gets across the near post, and he just puts his eyebrows, we call it your eyebrow, just lift your eyebrows up and lift that ball over that first defender, and Thiago just cannot react enough. He's not too far away from him on the far post, but he just cannot react quick enough.
Dion Dublin with us here in the MetLife Stadium. Brazil 1, Morocco 1, and we're in stoppage time. As Diop heads it forward for Morocco, taken high on the chest by Brahim Diaz and runs into trouble. Guimarães helped out by Casemiro. Vinicius Junior drags the ball forward. Douglas Santos on the overlap if he wants him. Vinicius Junior, though, keeps going and challenged by Hakimi. No foul, says the referee. Hakimi then is dispossessed. Oh no, he was fouled, said the Slovenian referee, and that will be a free kick to Morocco.
That might be a good free kick actually on Hakimi, because there was red shirts flooding forward as well. It's quite clear to see, because our vantage point here is so high and we are right on the halfway line, and when Morocco go forward you can actually see the red shirts going past the yellow shirts, getting into attacking positions, and the yellow shirts are not quite getting there. So it's very clear to see from up here that they're a little bit laboured in midfield, Brazil, but they still have the quality in those individuals.
Almost 5 to midnight back home, 5 to 7 here in the United States, 1-1, and there indeed is the half-time whistle. We've seen two brilliant goals. Sabari giving Morocco the lead. Brahim Diaz with the forward ball, the chip from Sabari past the advancing Alisson after 21 minutes, but 11 minutes later Vinicius Junior cutting in on that left side of the penalty area onto his right foot with a ferocious finish Your thoughts, Dion Dublin?
I think it's been quite a good game. I think Morocco have had obviously the majority of the ball early on in the first half. Quality was very good, energy is very good. Brazil look a little bit laboured in the midfield, but they have got those individuals like Vinicius Jr. and Rafinha that can do something special. Vinicius has already done that. That's why they're in the game, Brazil. Are they lucky? Maybe. Are they even? Yes.
Highly enjoyable. Half-time in the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. It's Brazil 1, Morocco 1.
Whoever that Brazilian fan is with the drum, their hands must be absolutely red raw, because they have just been pounding it for the entirety of that 45 minutes. There's a big sign just beneath us here, right down behind the goal, which says Movimento Verde Amarelo, the green and yellow movement. To be honest, Dion, it's been the Moroccan movement. Morocco have been so good, they've looked like Brazil.
Yeah, the Brazil of old, exactly. I think you're right there, Steve. And I think Morocco have... The rewards that they've got, they've earned through really good, organised play, lots of energy, and as I've said in comms as well, they're not going alone, they're going in 2s and 3s, they're squeezing together, they're dropping off together, and then they're leaving nobody isolated. Brazil just move, like I've said, they're just moving it too slowly, and they're relying on their individuals to do something special at this present time.
But those individuals are so special that in the end that might be enough.
But you don't get, it's very rare that you get 3, 4, 5 individual pieces of magic from one person in one game, so you do need other people to step up. You need your centre forward to make sure that he gets on the end of those crosses, and you need your centre forward to hold up the ball as well. So I expect more from Thiago if he comes out in the second half.
That Vinicius goal, just give us an understanding of how hard that is, because it's like, and I sort of watched it initially and thought, why have they not got out to him? But it's 3 movements almost in one movement, isn't it? It's incredible.
Yeah, it is, and it's so difficult to do because he's the best in the world at that. There's nobody better than Vinicius Jr. at what he's done. He's gone down the left and he's dropped his shoulder to make you think he's going to the left, but there's one touch from his left to his right, and then there's a touch in between the last touch, which the fullback can do nothing about, and the ball is in the perfect position to put his laces through it. He's done it thousands of times. He made it look easy. It's not. It's an outstanding finish. That's why he's one of the best in the world.
I'm speaking to some of my contacts, Dion, in the first half.
Go on the name drop. You got a name drop?
No. Saibari's on his way to Bayern Munich.
Is that right?
Harry Kane will enjoy playing with him.
Oh, my word. It's not a bad pairing, is it, by the way? There'll be some goals scored. If he gets chances like that, Sabari, he'll just stick it away like he did. Very, very calm finish. What happens in that situation, having been in that situation many times, you're 1-on-1 with the keeper, you're thinking, what do I do? Do I slide it down near his feet? Do I chip it? When you start doing that, you don't know which finish to use. He knew exactly what he was doing from the time he got onto the ball.
And a quick question to our fashion correspondent Ian Dennis just on Carlo Ancelotti. Surely for the second half, he's got to drop a layer, Ian, hasn't he? Hello. I'm checking to. Oh, you're eating. Sorry. You can answer that one, Dion.
Well,
he's in a 3-piece suit.
He is in a 3-piece suit. I think if he's got a waistcoat on underneath that, I think he'll take his jacket off and his tie, hopefully. He's the calmest man in the building. They go one down, he's still the calmest man in the building. He gets his good players to do what they've got to do. So he'll go in there, he'll be calm, he'll tell them they can still do it. He might make a few tweaks, Steve. He might change some personnel.
Great half. Brazil 1, Morocco 1. We'll have more reaction to Qatar's draw with Switzerland. We'll hear from Qatar boss Julian Lopetegui, and then we'll speak to Scott Brown, because of course we've got full commentary coming up at 2 a.m. of Scotland versus Haiti here on 5 Live. From here in New Jersey, let's take you back to base and get the news with Richard Foster.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The voice of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Thanks, Steve. Resident doctors in England have called off strikes, which are scheduled to start on Monday. Their union, the British Medical Association, says the government made a new offer at the last minute. The walkout had been due to run from 7 a.m. Monday to 7 a.m. on Friday. President Trump says a deal to end the fighting between the US and Iran is scheduled to be signed tomorrow, despite Tehran casting doubt on the timing. The president's posted on social media that the Strait of Hormuz will be open to all once that deal's agreed. Around 3,000 people have been to an anti-racism rally in Belfast after violence in the city earlier this week. It started after footage of a knife attack was shared on social media. A Sudanese man's been charged with attempted murder. And Ian Russell, whose daughter Molly took her own life after viewing harmful content online, has told the BBC he's dismayed by reports the government's going to ban young people from using some social media platforms. He's calling for stronger regulations on the sector instead.
5 Live Sports.
After the final whistle has sounded.
I think it's safe to say there's only one place to start.
Dive deeper into the World Cup on BBC Sounds.
I think it's the right decision.
It restores your faith in sport.
Discover a range of podcasts featuring analysis, in-depth interviews and stories you may never have heard before.
We have a slight problem with our commentary position. And I said, we can't see half of the pitch.
From the Football Daily
To the Wayne Rooney Show.
and Gamescom.
The Steve Bratnell Podcast.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is 5 Live Sports
At the FIFA World Cup 2026.
with Steve Crossman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
A super intense first half here at the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Brazil won, Morocco won. Earlier it finished 1-1 in the game between Qatar and Switzerland. Qatar scored in the 94th minute to claim their first ever point at a World Cup. Let's hear from their manager. Here's Julen Lopetegui.
I am very proud, even if they didn't score this goal and we didn't draw. I was very proud about the effort, about the mentality, about the discipline that they showed today, because it's like this. But fortunately, inshallah, alhamdulillah in this case, we have success in the last action. We scored 1 goal that is historic. It was historic to be here. I want to remark this and to highlight this. And now, today, they did an incredible work against one big team, as is Switzerland. Now, we have to recover well. We have 1 day less than Canada. And believe me that our players need sometimes more time than the rest of the players, because they are not get used in this kind of rhythm. So we have to do 1 big effort to recover well and to be ready for the next big challenge. We achieved 1 dream when we arrived here, to be here, and now today is other little dream, and we have to try to continue having the dream. It's going to be tough, difficult, but we win this right.
Qatar boss Julen Lopetegui. Elsewhere, Emma Raducanu's made it to her first ever grass court final. She's beaten Iva Jovic in straight sets at Queen, so the British number 1 is going to play Donna Vekic in the final tomorrow. We've got an all British front row for the Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix on Sunday. George Russell on pole, Lewis Hamilton qualifying in second. And Exeter have beaten Bath 27-26 to reach Rugby Union's Prem final. They will meet Northampton at Twickenham next weekend. So second half commentary on the way from here in New Jersey. Brazil and Morocco level at 1-1. On paper, it really felt like the most enticing and exciting fixture of the opening round. It's been incredibly intense. We've got the planes taking off from Newark above us, and these two sides so far inseparable. This, of course, is the same group as Scotland, who get their World Cup underway against Haiti here live on 5 Live as soon as we're done here at the MetLife Stadium. It's a 2 a.m. kickoff at Foxbury. You can watch it on BBC One. Part of our studio team then, alongside Kelly Cates, is the former Scotland midfielder Scott Brown. Scott, good evening.
How are we all?
Yeah, how are you, more importantly? I mean, it's going to be a 2 a.m. kickoff, but I don't think there's any danger of anyone dropping off.
No, we're all good here. We're just looking forward to the game. And nice and early in the morning, shall we say, but a few good coffees will definitely help me out.
How are you feeling about this opener? Because we know it is so big with what Scotland have got to come in the group. This is massive.
Yeah, look, the friendly's coming up. I think Steve's done unbelievable. And you see, to get to a World Cup the first time in 28 years since France, it shows you the power in his squad as well. And he's managed to chop and change, get through qualifiers with injuries, suspensions and stuff like that. Hopefully now he manages to pick his strongest team for the next 3 games and he can go to it. And look, who knows if Shanklin's going to start up top or if he's going to go 4-5-1. But it'll be interesting to see when the team lineups do come out.
Would you start Shanklin?
I think in the Haiti game, yes. I think 100%. He's a natural goal scorer. Hopefully for us, looking at the game, looking at the way the game's going to hopefully fall out, we should have a lot more possession, a lot more shots on target, a lot more, hopefully, playing in their half than anything else. But like, you don't want anybody else. The ball falls there, and Shankland's a natural goal scorer. He's shown it in the last couple of games. He's shown it over this season as well. So, like, for me, if I was picking that team, today is the opportunity for Shankland to play.
It's really interesting here, Scott, in New Jersey, because every few seconds we see a shot on the camera of a Brazilian legend in the stands. We've got Ronaldo here today. Denilson is here, one-time most expensive player in the world, all watching Brazil. I wonder what it's like for somebody like you, somebody whose international career spanned 12 years, who wasn't able to come to a World Cup with Scotland. How does it make you feel to see that there is a generation that have finally managed to make it happen again?
No, it's amazing. It's great for the nation as well, because it's been a long time coming. Turnt Army have been unbelievable, like following us through thick and thin as well. Maybe I should have retired years ago, and hopefully we got to a World Cup earlier, if I'm honest, because since I retired they've done 2 Euros and a World Cup, so it's been not too bad. But no, for us it's unbelievable, because see the Tartan Army looking forward to this. You can see them all going across. They've outdrunk all the planes, and all they keep talking about is no party, no Scotland, and they do exactly what they say. And hopefully the lads can turn up today and get 3 points for them, and see if we can get through this group stage. It would be incredible, and look, the lads would go down as legends.
That's such a good point. When we arrived in New Jersey, we were landing at the same time as a flight from the UK, and it was just sort of assault on the senses of kilt after kilt after kilt. I've been going mad here about the colour that Brazil bring to a World Cup. Well, there doesn't get much more colourful than Scotland on tour, does it?
No, every time I turn social media pages on, they're singing, they're dancing, they're in the airport, they're in some Airbnb taking over, they're in a hotel bar, you name it, they just take over wherever they go. And, like, there's not a bad person in there. They all just want to have a party, enjoy themselves, and it's been a long time coming, because, as I say, since France '98, I watched it as a young kid, not managed to make a World Cup at all, but now getting an opportunity to go and hopefully watch them and hopefully win a game as well would be incredible. And look, there's no better opportunity than the first game, and if we can manage to get 3 points there and get out this group stage, the lads go down is something that the nation's never done before.
And one of the amazing things about being at a World Cup, Scott, is that anything anybody does can become iconic. Like James McFadden's obviously a big part of our team, and as soon as I think of him, I think of that amazing goal that he scored in Paris for Scotland from what felt like about 50 yards. But a 2-yard tap-in, a big save, anything that a Scotland player does in a positive sense after so long is going to be remembered forever, which is a lot to deal with if you're a player, I guess.
100%, and still to this day, I thought Faddy shouldn't have shot, because I was thinking 45 yards out, James, relax, mate, we've not had a touch of the ball for 60 minutes. So you calm yourself down. But no, what a fantastic strike, and quite rightly so, he should be remembered for that, because he was a fantastic player. Just don't ever mention that to him. No. And like, whoever
just
scores the first goal,
you.
Yeah, whoever scores the first goal today is definitely going to go down as legendary status as well, if we score, which I think we will tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, they've got the individual players to do it. They've got the team ethic to do it as well, but this stage was just made for Scott McTominay, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think what's helped as well, they've got a little bit of balance now. Lads that have been to the Euros are understanding. You've got Robbo, you've got McTominay, you've got McGinn as well. You've got a really good balance with a little bit of youthfulness coming through. As Doak playing, and look, he's got a little bit of pace, bit of quality. You've got Shankland's hopefully goals now. You've got Shea Adams, link up play up top as well. So I think Steve's done really, really well with recruiting the players and also the shape as well. And he's chopped and changed throughout the Euros and the World Cup from a 3 to a 4 to a 4-4-2, and everything goes around in circles, but he's managed to adjust his team really, really well.
Good on you, Scott. Have a good one later. Thank you.
What's up, man? Enjoy the game.
Scott Brown, 55 caps for Scotland, part of our team. Scotland versus Haiti. Scotland back at the World Cup, first time since 1998. You can watch it on BBC One. It kicks off at 2 a.m. We will bring you full commentary from Foxborough later on. But we're also in NFL country. We're at home of the New York Giants, the MetLife Stadium. And one of the giants of world football, Brazil, trailed in the first half. They got back on terms through Vinicius Jr. Those famous yellow shirts are back out on the pitch in front of us. Carlo Ancelotti has returned. Still 3 layers on the Italian manager, the first foreign coach to lead Brazil at a World Cup, and their fans are just retaking their position. I wonder if we're going to see Dion Dublin, a change at the start of this second half for Brazil, because they did get their way back into it, but it felt like Morocco's half.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, myself and Deno are just looking at the screens here. I think there might be 2 changes, Steve. I think there's been Ian reliably informs me that 2 players have been booked, and they could be the 2 players that are not coming back out again. And I think it'll be Fabinho and who is the other one that's coming on?
Well, we'll find
Danilo,
out.
I think, is it Danilo? Yeah, Danilo and Fabinho.
And he just has one little look up to the sky and holds his hands outside of his body and taps the 4th official on the shoulder before running onto the pitch. This is brilliantly poised. We're in a proper coliseum of a stadium. Brazil won, Morocco won. Dion Dublin's with Ian Dennis.
Thank you, Steve. The 2 players who have gone off were the 2 players who were booked, so Carlo Ancelotti not looking to try and take any risks. He turned 67 on Wednesday, did the Italian. So Fabinho, who only actually made 1 appearance in Qatar and didn't actually play in no part in any of the 18 qualifiers for Brazil, he comes on to replace Casemiro. And then Danilo, who Ancelotti really likes. He likes his versatility, replaces Ibanez as the right back. So Brazil lining up now with Alisson in goal, Danilo, Marquinhos, Gabriel and Douglas Santos, Fabinho, Bruno Guimaraes, Rafinha, Paquetá, Vinicius Junior and Igor Thiago. Yellow shirts, blue shorts, Brazil playing from right to left as we look high up here in the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Morocco in their red shirts and green shorts, Bono in goal, a back 4 of Hakimi, Riyad, Diop and Mazraoui, El Anawi, Bouadi, Ouani in the midfield with El Khanous on the left, Brahim Diaz and Sabari through the middle. He gave Morocco the lead as Rafinha comes forward over on that far right-hand side, challenged by Mazraoui, last touch from the Manchester United player, and Brazil will get a corner kick over on that right-hand side. BBC Radio 5 Live and also Radio Scotland taking the commentary as we count down the minutes to Haiti against Scotland, coming live from Boston at 2 in the morning. This is the other game, of course, in Group C. Rafinha in front of the banks of Brazilian supporters in these steep stands, the 3-tiered stands, as the referee, who is Slavko Vincic, has spotted a little bit, and it's Riyad who is called towards him. Crystal Palace defender, who's only actually made 15 appearances in 2 seasons because of injury at Selhurst Park. There's the referee's whistle. Corner kick, played in low. Marquinhos again was the one who was trying to get the touch at the near post. In the first half we saw him flick it with his head. This time he's trying to guide it with his right leg.
Yeah, does that so well. He just times it so well. He just tries to get in front of his immediate marker and be the first person to the ball. He's done it a couple of times now because Morocco have nobody in that near post position.
The beat of the Brazilian drum. In comes the corner kick. There was a flying leg. There was an attempt from Gabriel to try and get on the end of that as Vinicius Junior is challenged on this near side by El Khanous, and El Khanous will run forward. Brahim Diaz short of the halfway line. Fabinho comes across and stops his run as the ball goes out of play for a throw. Fabinho, formerly of Liverpool, 32 years of age. Al Ittihad, where he now plays his football, the holding midfielder for Brazil. Did say that didn't think that Casemiro would last the full 90, but I think that yellow card that he'd picked up had forced the hand of Carlo Ancelotti.
Yeah, just can't take any risks, not so early in the competition. You've got to need all your players and you don't want to lose anybody at all, so it's a like for like, I would say, with Fabinho for Casemiro.
There was a foul. Bruno Guimaraes is the offender, and that will be a free kick to Morocco. Bruno Guimaraes of Newcastle United actually popped up with a goal in that last warm-up game, the first goal in the 2-1 victory against Egypt. Just a couple of appearances that he made in the last World Cup, but imagine with his dad as a taxi driver back in Brazil, be hoping to try and make a greater impact, as will Brazil. Their last World Cup win was 2002. 5 tournaments without winning it. It's the third joint longest run. They have never gone 6 World Cups without getting glory at the end. As Bono will just tell everybody in red to go downfield. He's not going to take this one short for a free kick for Morocco 5 minutes into the second half. Hardly a cloud in the sky. Still the sun shines. Those in the middle tier and the top tier on the far side are probably the ones feeling the heat, the full glare of the sun. Those who are not, it's still extremely close inside this stadium. Very, very sultry conditions as Brazil clear. Masraoui, though, gets himself in front of Rafinha. And Masraoui does well. Level the penalty area, left-hand side. Ounahi out then to that far side with Morocco. This is Bouhaddi, Riyad, El Ainaoui down the left touch line, still looking to try and deliver the cross, as they're playing it in triangular passing patterns of Morocco, just keeping the ball, and actually go back to Diop now inside the centre circle, across towards Hakimi on this near side. Sabari then drops it back towards Hakimi, but Douglas Santos did very well. Just when it looked like Hakimi was away from him, with the outside of his left boot, he got a challenge in. And now Vinicius Junior accelerates and runs forward in towards the penalty area. It went again behind Igor Thiago. He didn't look alert.
No, it was a difficult one. I'm going to come to his defence here. He makes a run across his defender that time, and the ball goes behind him. It's Rafinha that was on his heels at the far post. If he gets across his defender, he's got a chance on goal. I mean, you look down at these players now, and the only player that stands out, and that's Fabinho, because he's got black boots on. How strange is that?
Yeah. There's pink, there's orange. But the traditional footwear of Fabinho, with the black boots, as he just tries to keep an eye on Sabari, who gave Morocco the lead. A lot of talk that he'll be leaving PSV for Bayern Munich. Can play wide, false 9, born in Spain, raised in Belgium. And a very good season for PSV Eindhoven, with 19 goals in his 36 appearances in the Netherlands. There's a quick throw and is taken. Thiago hits it early on the rise, left-footed. Bono makes the save around head height, pushing the ball away. Here is Fabinho. Forward ball, Paquetá invites Marquinhos to come forward. This is Douglas Santos, the left-back for Brazil. Paquetá in a deep position. Ball is passed out wide by Danilo. Rafinha on that right-hand side, down towards the byline, cuts it in low. And then cleared away by Riyad for Morocco. Brazil get a throw on that far side, the right, 8 minutes into the second half, 5 live, 1-1.
Yeah, got to do more, Thiago, in the middle of the pot there. I mean, Marquinhos has got both his arms around him as if to say, you're not going anywhere, and he's not fighting his way out of that defender. You've got to get yourself into that goal-scoring position. You've got to find those spaces. Don't let the defenders bully you in there.
This is Gabriel just outside the centre circle. Paquetá has dropped short to collect it, passes the ball along the ground. Vinicius Junior to Paquetá, lays it off towards Vinicius Junior. Bruno Guimaraes though ran into trouble, and El Ainaoui is then able to get the ball away from him and then lay it off to his right for Brahim Diaz, who stops, passes the ball back to Hakimi. That was a loose pass. He's giving it straight back to Vinicius Junior. Thiago, referee's played the advantage. This is Thiago, lets it run through to Vinicius Junior, but Hakimi was there and just stopped him with a last-ditch challenge on the edge of the penalty area, and then there was a foul as Fabinho checked Hakimi, and that will be a free kick to Morocco. That was very unlike Hakimi.
Yeah, not like Hakimi at all, actually. I mean, it's a clear foul from Fabinho on Hakimi. But just a lapse in concentration, that's possibly the only time that Morocco have done that, giving the ball away cheaply. Vinicius Junior's coming from an offside position, but it doesn't matter, because it was a pass from a Moroccan player.
As you look around this stadium, you notice the giant black speakers that are suspended over the pitch, all 10 of them. That was certainly helping to create the atmosphere with the 4 giant screens that are also showing the action in the corners of this stadium here in New Jersey. We are 5 miles west of New York City. It is the largest venue in the NFL, the home of the New York Giants, the home of the New York Jets. This cavernous arena as Mazraoui forward for Morocco, 10 minutes into the second half. El Khanous comes inside, edge of the area, through ball, blocked by Marquinhos. Well read by Paquetá with a raised boot to clear it away for the yellow shirts of Brazil. Vinicius Junior with a layoff. Paquetá challenged by El Khanous. The referee will say a free kick, actually, for Brazil. Morocco coming into this game unbeaten in 29 matches.
It's 29, I thought it was 25. I did throw in 25 earlier. 29 is incredible. I mean, I can see why, by the way that they play and the way that they're defending, and the organisation from Marquinhos and Diop back there as well. Mazraoui's been outstanding, by the way. I think he's been their best player today, Mazraoui, up and down their left-hand side as well. So I can see that they've got very good individuals, but together as a 4, they seem to just work very, very well.
They did suffer a defeat in August 2025, but I'm told it was the B team that lost against Kenya. This is very much the A team. Although when you look at the squad, only 8 players have been retained from 2022, and that squad that reached the semi-finals, losing 2-0 to France in Qatar. They're 1-1 here against Brazil, as Rafinha on the right-hand side, midway through the Moroccan half. Looks for the run of Danilo ahead of him, but it is El Khanous tracking back that run of the Brazilian right-back, and it will go out for the goal kick. 5 Live. Get you the Scotland team news when we can. Haiti against Scotland. And then there's another game to follow that, Australia-Turkey. And then tomorrow, Germany-Curacao, Netherlands-Japan, Ivory Coast, Ecuador at midnight.
Steve's right about the Brazilian drummer. It's still going. It hasn't stopped all game, and we are 56 minutes in, and the drumming is still going. What I'd like to happen is I'd like some Brazilian fans to get involved with the drumming. He's drumming away and nobody's doing no dancing, no singing at all. He's on his own.
Can you see it?
I can't see him.
It's one thing hearing him, but it's another thing trying to pick him out with this sellout crowd of 82,500. And if he's wearing yellow, then you've got no chance.
He'll do well. He'll do very well.
Yeah. Even if he was wearing a Where's Wally red and white striped shirt, you'd still struggle to pick him out. 1-1, 5 Live. Brahim Diaz forward for Morocco. Former Manchester City player. Runs forward, can't deliver the cross. 2 Brazil players have gone with him. Paquetá was one. Brahim Diaz has stopped. He's saying he was caught in the face there by Paquetá. Looks towards the assistant referee. Play continues. He's stayed on his feet. Morocco pressing. Brazil inside their penalty area. Pass the ball out towards that right-hand side. And then Mazraoui really does close down Rafinha, so much so that he actually pushes him over from behind. It'll be a free kick to Brazil. We've got nearly an hour played. It's still 1-1.
Yeah, got away with it, Brazil. Just trying to keep the ball, trying to play the right way, going through the keeper, Alisson, across the goal and then out again to Marquinhos. And sometimes it's good to just play through the lines quickly then you'll get into a position of strength a lot quicker by playing one pass than three.
58.5 minutes played. Rafinha running forward on the right-hand side. Matsraoui backpedals. Rafinha. Paquetá couldn't control that ball. Just bounced over his left boot. Vinicius Junior. Brazil looking to step it up. As the Brazilian supporters increase the volume inside this stadium, there is a section in the middle tier waving yellow and green flags above their heads. That's where the noise is emanating from. As Vinicius Junior, Morocco again drop behind the ball, everybody back inside their own half. Patient play. Certainly we haven't seen anywhere near the level of goal-mouth activity that we had in the first 45 minutes. Paquetá able to turn. The pace of the game has dropped as a result. Vinicius Junior, now you're relying on a moment of quality from either side. And Brazil are seeing more possession than Morocco. Here is Diop. Diop chips it long, and then that's easily off the chest of Gabriel. But Fabinho's just given them a little bit more solidity in the midfield, hasn't he?
He has, absolutely. He's done that, and he's sat there and he's making sure the ball doesn't find its way into Sabari's feet. He's doing a great job there. Fabinho, the game is going to slow down. It's so hot. The game, unfortunately, it's more or less walking pace at the moment, but you've just got to be careful. That's when you can get pounced on.
They almost had their pockets picked at Morocco, as Thiago was the one who just broke up the passage of play, and they required Boadi to run back and to mop things up for Morocco, as he now is fouled from behind, and that will be a free kick. Just to let you know that in the drinks break, which is about 7 or 8 minutes away, we'll be going to Boston to get a feel of the atmosphere. Haiti against Scotland, as the Brazilian bench, they made 2 changes at half-time. They're going to make 2 more now. Paquetá has come off, and Matheus Cunha has come on. And then the other change is Luis Enrique, who's coming on for Brentford's Igor Thiago, who makes way after 61 minutes. So Enrique is he's a left-footed right winger who plays for Zenit. So just going to have to see where he actually... And so Rafinha's gone central. Cunha now is playing off him, and then Enrique's on the right-hand side. That's how they've jigged things around.
Yeah, Rafinha's gone down the middle, hasn't he?
Yes.
Rafinha's gone down the middle as well, so lots of pace as well, lots of width. I mean, Vinicius Junior's got his heels on the line. Rafinha straight through the middle. Cunha's just bouncing in and about the centre circle there. That'll be the danger now. Cunha's position for Morocco.
Paquetá, the former West Ham player who made his Brazilian debut in the MetLife Stadium in September 2018 against the United States, is unable to make any sort of impact in this game other than the acrobatic effort that he had in first half stoppage time. He did score 1 goal for Brazil 4 years ago. Means also that they can only make 1 more change for Carlo Ancelotti.
This is when it's so important, isn't it, to have good squads of players. So when you get to this position in the game where you are incredibly tired, it's very, very hot, you've got to have those quality players that can come in and enhance your team with just a little bit of legs when it gets to this position. 11
of Brazil's 26 competing at what is their first World Cup. The referee, Slavko Vincic, is there a bloody nose there for Fabinho? Yeah. And he's telling him he's got to leave the field of play. Sunderland's Talbi is going to be coming on. Shamsdeen Talbi, one of 11 players from Sunderland selected for the World Cup. They actually have more players than Real Madrid, the Sunderland.
Wow. That's how well they've done, Sunderland.
So temporarily they're down to 10. Brazil is getting mopped up and patched up is Fabinho. It's going to be a double change as well. I think I saw that Samir El Mourabet, who's a 19-year-old midfielder for Strasbourg, is also going to be coming on. Towel is being applied to the face of Fabinho. And it is El Khanous who's going off. And also Azzedine Ouanahi, the box-to-box midfielder from Girona. So Ouanahi will make way for El Mourabet. And then Talbi will take up that position of El Khanous on the left-hand side of Morocco's attack. 1-1. It's been a tighter, cagey affair in the second half.
I would agree with Brazil having most of the ball, but again not creating much with it, trying to go through the heart of the Moroccans midfield, and it's not happening. Morocco making a change, or the last change, is it?
Yeah.
Last change, that
That's
one.
Talbi coming
there
on.
He comes.
4 goals in his 30 appearances for Sunderland, helping them to European qualification for the former Belgian youth international. They can't stem the flow of blood there for Fabinho. He's got a new shirt, but for the time being, they just can't stop it. They've shoved a massive tissue up his left nostril. Play continues, they're still down to 10. It remains 1-1, 65 minutes play. BBC Radio 5 live here in New Jersey. Brazil at the back. Up it goes towards Enrique. He was being held and fouled. Free kick that he takes quickly. And on it goes, over on that far side for Cunha. Missed out in Qatar. It's his first World Cup finals. And Ancelotti, Tim Vickery saying ahead of the game he was surprised he didn't make the starting 11, because Ancelotti is a big admirer of his work ethic. As Vinicius Junior towards Rafinha. First time cross comes in. Clearance only as far as Enrique with a turn. Had to go some way back to collect it. Danilo with a cross right-hand side, and then hooked clear by El Mourabet for Morocco. But Brazil are seeing a lot of the ball, and they're the ones now dictating.
Yeah, they are, and just prodding away at the moment. Morocco are quite comfortable, though, out of possession, just making sure that they're getting across the pitch in a team formation.
This is Enrique, right-hand side, cross played in low. Rafinha couldn't snaffle it up. Mind you, it was fist across on the right-hand side, and it came at him very quickly, and he just had a little swish of the left leg. But as soon as he had, it had already gone past. It was Guimarães who whipped it across. It was a wicked ball that he delivered.
Unbelievable ball, that. I mean, that's 5 yards away from the goal, and all it needs to, just a little touch from anybody. A defender's touch, it goes in the back of the net. I mean, a forward as well. You've got to have players diving in there. Bruno Guimarães there with a great ball in. No help from his teammates.
Talked before about Brazil's record when it comes to an opening game in World Cup competitions, and the fact that they haven't lost an opening game in 92 years. Well, for Morocco, who are competing at their 7th World Cup appearance, they are yet to win an opening game in a World Cup. They've drawn 3 and they've lost 3. The time for the hydration break, as it is announced so loudly inside this stadium, we'll tell you that we're midway through the second half here on 5 Live. We've got a drinks break, so we are going to go to Boston. And let's soak up the atmosphere of Haiti, Scotland with John Southall.
Yes, good evening, Ian. Good timing. Welcome to Foxborough, because the Scotland side has just walked onto the field here to take in their surroundings, and it is a wonderful setting for Scotland's return to the World Cup for the first time in 28 years. They're down there in their blue suits and their white T-shirts. This is the home of the New England Patriots, a steepling open stadium, and it is absolutely full, packed, bursting with Scots here in their thousands, the Saltire draped around the stadium, and importantly, the temperature has dropped. It has been hot and humid during the day in Boston, and now it is a comfortable temperature inside the stadium, which will suit Scotland tonight. Awaiting the team news, we think Angus Gunn will start in goal ahead of Craig Gordon. Looks like Scott McTominay has recovered from that stomach bug. He is ready to go, and you can feel the anticipation inside this stadium.
And it will be live on BBC Radio 5 Live. And don't forget that the match will be replayed, BBC Television and the iPlayer from 7:30 in the morning. As I'm sure that Steve Clarke will hope that Scotland's first World Cup in 28 years gets off to a winning start. When we went to Times Square the other night, and there were so many Scottish supporters, and we stopped, well, your mate, Tommy, now my new mate, said...
We can share mates, it's okay, we can share mates.
He said, why are you here? And they used it was easier for the Scotland fans to travel into New York and then make the journey on to Boston.
I think what they've done is they've just tried to, with most fans at this tournament as well, trying to find the cheapest way to get to their destination. The Scots wanted to go through New York, and let me tell you, they've enjoyed their time in New York as well. Lots of them in Times Square, and just off Times Square as well, in the bars and in the restaurants, enjoying themselves. So I'm told they're in the bars. Anyway, but they seem to have a good time. No Scotland, no party, that's what they say.
Yeah, that was when you were drinking the hot chocolate.
Absolutely.
20 minutes to go as the play is about to resume after the drinks break here. As soon as that team news incidentally is confirmed, then we will bring it to you. And don't forget, the game will be live on 5 Live as well as Radio Scotland from 2 o'clock. Playback underway. 1-1 then between Brazil and Morocco. Ball chipped clear by Douglas Santos. This is Cunha. Vinicius Junior knocks the ball high in the air. Guimaraes battles for that bouncing ball and then bounces away off El Mourabet as the ball is now with Hakimi. So the team news has been confirmed. Back to John Southall.
Yeah, so Gunn does start in goal in, McTominay and McGinn also in, so it's Gunn, Hickey, Robertson, McTominay, Hanley, McGinn, Adams, Hendry, Gannon-Doak, Ferguson and Shankland for Scotland's return to the World Cup.
And even if you haven't watched it yet, there's still an opportunity to do so on the iPlayer. But as Talby tries to turn, but then a challenge comes in from Douglas Santos. Kevin Bridges, the documentary In Search of the Beautiful Game, as the ball is played forward, and it was looking for Sabari, and the flag was up on this near side anyway. It's from Clydebank to Capu. It's a great watch. I would thoroughly recommend it for the Kevin Bridges documentary you can find on the iPlayer. He actually went to Brazil as well. Obviously spoke to Cafu, went to a favela. He required the Factor 50 sun cream.
Very funny man, isn't he?
Yeah, he's very funny. There'll be a few on the far side that still require the Factor 50 as still they bathe on that top tier here in the sunshine in the United States. We're past midnight, of course, back home, 1-1. El Mourabet trying to get on the end of that bouncing ball, but Gabriel sensed the danger, lent into him, passes the ball back towards Alisson, and then goes out wide. Danilo goes down the right side towards Enrique, the layoff towards Danilo. But as he accelerated off his left boot, the ball went away from him and allowed Boadi in the midfield just to tidy things up for Morocco. 73 minutes played. 2 fine goals that we witnessed in the first half. But chances have been a premium in this second period. Boadi along the ground, Hakimi, again it just stuck a little bit, wouldn't run true towards him. Boadi chips it forward, headed away by Douglas Santos and picked up now by Diop at the back for Morocco. Diop.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy from both sides now, and I would imagine it's just heavy legs and wanting to make sure that they don't concede. And sometimes when you have the mindset of a team that just do not want to concede, you sort of slow yourself down a little bit as opposed to going to win the game. And at this present time it looks like that Brazil are on the front foot and Morocco are just quashing every opportunity they try.
It's almost as if the Moroccan supporters inside the stadium were listening to Dion and realising that they needed a little bit of a pick-me-up as they stand up around us in those in red to try and generate some vocal support. But Boadi just doing his effective job in that midfield. As Sabari plays the ball back. That was El Anawi. Opens up on that left-hand side for Morocco. Sabari does give it towards Matsraoui. Ball played back towards Matsraoui. Time to measure the cross, drilled in low. And then cleared away by Fabinho for Brazil. Out from Morocco throw, 1-1.
Yeah, it's a good ball in, but Fabinho, I think, has been the difference. I think Boadi, in the first half, who plays in exactly the same position for Morocco, was taking charge of that game, and now Fernandinho, or should I say Fabinho's come on, and he's making sure that nothing makes its way past his two centre-halves. Very, very cultured footballer in there, Fabinho. Takes up great positions.
I wonder if there become a point where both managers think, I tell you what, such is the quality of the opposition that we're playing against, knowing that we've got Scotland and Haiti to come, we'll take the point.
We'll take the point, yeah, without a doubt, because I think in this game in particular, if you do switch off at all, then you will get punished, because the quality is very, very high. Both still trying to get forward, both still trying to create chances, but the edge has gone a little bit out of the game.
Brazil, who have topped each group stage since 1982. They did draw 1-1 in the Russia World Cup in 2018 against Switzerland, and that's the scoreline here with 15 minutes remaining on 5 Live. All the build-up to come. Haiti against Scotland. Commentary on 5 Live and Radio Scotland from the BBC. Rafinha on the halfway line, back towards Danilo. It's a very, very slow pace now. Gabriel. Vinicius Junior, who got the equaliser for Brazil. Oh, and then he's just a lapse of concentration. Talbia's been presented with the ball. Sabari now takes over. Vinicius Junior is the one that races after it on that far side to try and make sure that Brazil get it back. 80,663. As it claims it's a full house here in New Jersey, with the typical razzmatazz of the PA announcer, as you'd expect here.
You actually announced that while you were sort of doing a bit of a shoulder shimmy, didn't you? Hey? What's the shoulder shimmy all about there?
I don't know, I was trying to get into razzmatazz mode. We've got that annoying comcam that they have for the socials. I hope that didn't pick it up here.
Oh, that'll be on. Chop that up, please, Elliot. Chop that up.
It wasn't really much of a shimmy after all. You're exaggerating.
They can make their own decision when they see it in about 5 minutes' time.
Here is Sabari. Morocco in their red shirts playing from left to right. El Anawi. Sabari unable to get ball. He has got past two players. He gives it to Talbi. Talbi with a cross and cleared away by Danilo on the edge of the 6-yard box. They hadn't necessarily anticipated that one coming in, and had they done so, then potentially there could have been a
tap-in.
A tap-in on the far post.
It's a tap-in. I mean, in the first half, obviously, when they've got the energy, the red shirts flooding in. Lovely bit of skill, great ball in, and not a red shirt in sight. Edge of the box, waiting for that perfect strike. Doesn't happen.
Ball goes back to Alisson. Alisson's first time clearance. Cunha controls the ball. Looks for Vinicius Junior. Diop, I think, had switched off, looking for the flag. Vinicius Junior, Rafinha, first time, left-footed low, and straight at the goalkeeper.
Difficult chance, that one. I mean, Rafinha's got all the quality in the world, but he's just, I don't know, maybe 5 yards ahead of the near post, 15, 20 yards out, and he has to swing, put power on the shot, put direction on the shot, scuffs it slightly. I mean, it goes straight to the keeper. There's no problem at all for the keeper, but he just seems to have stayed down. He seems to have fallen awkward. He's grabbing his left ankle as well, so what's happened there, I'm not too sure. When he went down towards the ball, he might have twisted his left ankle. There's a big picture of Rafinha right in front of us here, close-up of his face. He's grimacing as if to say, if I'd have caught that one properly, I would have had a chance of scoring, but he didn't. But better from Brazil.
Earlier, Morocco made a couple of changes with Talbi for Brahim Diaz and El Mourabat coming on for Uanahi. Bono, I think, is able to continue. They're looking to try and make a couple of more changes. Redouane Halhal is going to be coming on, who's a defender. Oh no, it's 26, not 25. It'll be Salah-Ad-Din, the PSV defender, who's going to come on. He replaces Mazraoui. So that's like for like. And then the other player coming on was Amamouni, who's come on for El Kanous. So the Eintracht Frankfurt forward, only his third appearance for his country at his first World Cup, replaces the former Leicester City player who went out to Stuttgart on loan, scored 9 goals in 44 appearances before joining them permanently in May. So Amamouni is on, and they now also have used 4 substitutions, have Morocco, as we have just 10 minutes remaining. 1-1 it is between the two sides. Here on 5 Live, Enrique climbs to head the ball forward. Diop, just the game feels as if it's petering out.
Yeah, it does with a lack of energy and pace, and there's more hopeful balls than quality. And
Brazil also have made a change. Bruno Guimaraes has gone off, and Danilo Santos is the player who has come on, the former Nottingham Forest midfielder. 62 appearances and 6 goals during his 2.5 years at the City Ground before he was sold for £21 million. As Morocco looking for a late goal with 10 minutes remaining. Over on the far side, Talbi. Cross is delivered low and blocked by Salah-Ad-Din, and it will go to the edge of the area now with Boadi. Hakimi on this near side, the right. Boadi on the stretch, couldn't get there. Loose ball will be picked up by Vinicius Junior. Releases it early towards Rafinha. Rafinha runs out towards the far side. Riyad of Crystal Palace hold him up as they're coming together in a collision, I think, with Enrique and El Ainaoui of Morocco off the ball. This is Cunha. Cunha enters the penalty area. Cunha still going on the stretch. Gets a corner kick. And then he whips up the Brazilian crowd as well.
Need to do something, Brazil, they really do. Well, both sides have been very laboured in this second half. The referee's changed his mind.
Oh, he has changed his mind. I'll tell you what that will be. That'll be one of the rule changes where they're able to do that. It'll be VAR taking its effect, because they're able to do it with the VAR, assuming. I mean, corner kicks can be checked by VAR, but it has to be done quickly before the restart, and that was quickly.
Yeah, it was, and the referee must have got the information he needed. Vinicius Junior was out at the corner flag with Cunha, and the referee said no, that is a goal kick.
Bastian Danke, the German VAR official, working extremely effectively. 8 minutes remaining. Oh, that's a short back pass by Diop, and Bono had to react quickly, and he's in the wars as well, because he's actually been caught in his shoulder, his right shoulder, by Rafinha, and he's now gone down holding that part of his body, because Diop's back pass gave Rafinha a sniff of an opportunity, and Bono quickly got there with his left boot, but then Rafinha clattered into him and just caught him, his upper body twisted.
Yeah, just the coming together, that, nothing in that at all for me. Rafinha holding his hand out as well, as if to say, listen, sorry about that, but it was just you going forward, me going forward. He didn't even go for the ball, Rafinha. He knew that the keeper was going to get there first. There was a little window of opportunity there for Rafinha. If it was Vinicius Junior, I would imagine he'd have got on the end of that, but just the coming together there, the keeper stayed down.
I've just had a flashback to 1986.
Okay.
And Brian Robson.
Yes, with his shoulder, getting strapped up.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Dislocated shoulder.
It's a painful one. I've dislocated my collarbone twice, and it's very, very painful.
Well, at the minute, Bono is sitting up. They did have him lying on his back, and they were almost moving his right arm over his head to really stretch those shoulder muscles. But bearing in mind, he was in the wars earlier on with what was it? Did you say it was his ankle problem?
Yeah, rolled his ankle slightly, I think, when he was receiving the ball. They're just checking the movement now, that ball and socket movement. All the lift it up, pull it down, bits and bobs. But he's talking, he seems okay. We'll know if he's okay if they actually pull that arm to get him up off the floor. That'll tell you if he's okay or not.
Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon.
There you go. We're going back a bit, you now, aren't you? Showing your age, aren't you? That was 1942 then.
Well, just to make sure, Munir El-Khajaoui, who's at 37 years of age, he's made an appearance in the last at least one in the last 2 World Cups. He might, he's warming up just in case, but Bono, I think, is all right. Gives a little shake of the right arm, and play is back underway. But it's a lengthy stoppage. 1-1 it remains. First half was extremely enjoyable. Second half, in this heat, you could be struggling to stay away.
Not been great, to be honest with you, by both sides. And I think what you said earlier as well, Ian, about both being happy with the point, I think that is definitely the case. There's still a couple more chances in this game. Still a couple more chances to go.
Boadi wriggles free from Cunha. Strong running from Boadi. Pokes the ball forward to this near side, looking for Amamouni. But Gabriel, this is Danilo back towards Gabriel. And as Morocco will press towards Alisson. See, in the first half, that was a key feature of their play, that they were pressing, they were being aggressive. They've been quite happy just to drop off for Brazil in this second half, and Brazil have seen a lot more of the ball as a result.
Yeah, sometimes when you get to this stage of the game, you might have your forward-thinking players trying to do the same thing, but your midfield players have dropped off slightly, so the gaps are much bigger. You don't get that consistency of going together, and that's what's happened to Morocco.
Hakimi, the African Footballer of the Year, forward for Morocco on this near side. Back towards Diop, quickly chased at by Rafinha. The return ball towards Diop, with Rafinha still showing plenty of energy. Racing now towards the goalkeeper, Bono, away towards our left-hand side. 3.5 minutes remain of normal time. Boadi actually was able to applaud the ball from Riyad out of defence before it arrived to his feet, as Morocco now just seeing a lot more of the ball, possibly their most sustained spell of possession in this second half. Out it goes wide to the far side. And this is Talbi. His cross cleared by Marquinhos with a lazy right-footed clearance. It goes picked back up by the red shirts of Morocco. Here on 5 Live. Boadi now in the centre circle. Out across to Hakimi on this near side, the right. Boadi is available with a square pass. This now is El Ainaoui. Morocco in possession, back with Diop, but not taking many chances in possession. Ball played forward, headed easily away by Santos. Picked up again by Boadi though for Morocco. Still it remains 1-1. Near side for Amamouni. Cuts in field. Delivers the cross. Marquinhos was back to head it away for Brazil. And Amamouni will then charge down the attempted clearance, and it will be a Brazilian throw deep inside their own half. Still 1-1, 2 minutes remaining.
Yeah, how many times do you see Marquinhos do that? Just seems to be in the right place at the right time. I mean, he's not a towering defender, he's not 6'2", 6'3", but he is an incredibly intelligent centre-half.
Final change being made by Morocco, and the goal scorer, Ismail Sabari, is the player to come off. Soufiane Rahimi coming on for his first finals. He was the first choice centre forward at the African Cup of Nations, but lost his place. Plays his football with Alain, 30 years of age, 12 goals that he scored in 37 appearances. There's one final twist from Mohamed Wahabi, the Moroccan manager. But we've got 60 seconds remaining of normal time. Scotland are Morocco's next opponents. Again in Boston on the 10th of June. So what's that? On the 19th of June, that's next Friday. Then Brazil against Haiti in Philadelphia. Free kick for Morocco. El Mourabet stands over it. We're about to find out how much added time. It's a diagonal ball that is hit long. Left corner of the area. Talbi now takes over for Morocco on that left-hand side, but Enrique is back helping out for Brazil, and Enrique dispossesses it, gets it up towards Cunha. Cunha, was he tripped? The referee has a look at it and will give the free kick to Brazil 10 yards inside their own half.
That's good play from Cunha. That is just making sure that he gets back to help his team out. There's a loose ball and he's on it. It's a way to go. Rafinha's ready to go. Vinicius Junior's ready to go. Clever tactical free kick though from Morocco.
10 minutes of additional time. Well, all of a sudden that changes the dynamic, doesn't it?
It does. It does. I still think there's a good couple of chances to come. That's heightened even more now with the 10 minutes that are to come.
10 minutes of stoppage time. Here in New Jersey, ball chipped forward, Rafinha's into it, right-hand side of the penalty area, down towards the byline, pulls it back, and Danilo couldn't get enough on it, just brushed the top of his head, runs out to this near side. Douglas Santos plays the ball in field towards Vinicius Junior. El Mourabet in the midfield for Morocco, back towards Diop. Are you surprised that Rafinha didn't go for goal at the first opportunity?
Yeah, the reason he didn't go for goal is on his right foot, it's his weaker foot, but I'm thinking to myself, you're only 10 yards on the angle, just swing your foot, give yourself a chance, try to pull it back. None of his teammates were there.
All of a sudden there's fresh energy in this game. As Vinicius Junior wins a corner kick, it was petering out, and then when the players have realised there's 10 minutes, they're thinking, we've still got time to go and win this, yes. and Brazil are now the ones carrying the threat.
Absolutely, it's a long time to hold out. You can't just sit in and hope to get the point. Give yourself a chance, create chances, get forward, use that last bit of energy that you've got in your legs, just to see if you can get all 3 points.
Brazilian voices you can hear here in New Jersey live on BBC Radio 5 Live. Brazil 1, Morocco 1. Cunha to take the corner kick near side the left. Rafinha is available should they want to play it relatively short to the left-hand side of the penalty area. Cunha though will go right-footed, clips it in, crowded area. Bono manages to get 2 hands to it to punch the ball away. Retrieved on this near side the left by Cunha. Oh, and then challenge comes in. Behind for another corner kick. Cunha though wants to take it quickly. Morocco have got every red shirt in and around their penalty area, but in fact on that occasion it was Rafinha who was just saying slow it down. He put both hands in the air. Now Cunha will deliver the corner kick. Bono punches the ball away, drops towards Rafinha. Enrique passes the ball forward. This is Danilo, shoots straight at the keeper.
Tough chance that, tough chance on the turn as well from Danilo, just trying to steer it in the furthest corner away over the keeper's right shoulder. But the keeper's angles were absolutely spot on. He shut the near post off and he gave him the big area of the right corner, but he had it all covered, he had it all under control. Brazil looked a little bit lively in the last couple of minutes.
They do. That should I just point out, that was Danilo Santos, the former Forest player, not Danilo, who's in defence. I'll need to memo to self, include his full name, as Morocco with Amamouni on this near side. Brahimi with a cross, delivered deep. Headed out by Danilo, the right back. Wadi for Morocco. 4 minutes nearly played in added time. There'll be a minimum of 10 here, and it still remains 1-1 on 5 Live. Morocco now, Amamouni, Wadi, El Mourabet. Morocco's turn now to have every player in the Brazilian half as Brazil drop off with the yellow shirts back behind the ball. The Moroccan voices now you can hear. They might be outnumbered. They're certainly not going to be silenced. Look like a good old shoulder challenge. Runs behind for a corner kick to Morocco. That challenge from Gabriel of Arsenal on Rahimi.
I think Rahimi will be okay when he realises he's got a corner. I think he'll get it, and he'll say, yeah, he's realised he's got a corner, let me get myself up. Bit of a nudge in the back from Gabriel, coming together. He's on his feet and his way, on the way into the box.
A goal now, you would think, would be enough to secure the 3 points, as we're halfway through the minimum of 10 to be added on. The referee, Slavko Vincic, is saying, cut out the holding. I'm watching. Brazil have got everybody back inside their penalty area, bar Vinicius Junior. In comes the corner kick towards the far post. Headed out by Gabriel. Talbi of Sunderland will let it go out of play for a throw for Morocco. They're attacking the end where those chunk of Moroccan support in the bottom and middle tiers are housed. Enrique with a header away, downward header, picked up by Cunha. But in the end, he was surrounded by too many red shirts. There were 4 of them in the end. Talbi now for Morocco. El Mourabet in the midfield. El Inawi. Interception though from Douglas Santos. Amamouni though wins it back and then chips the ball across towards the far side, but it was well read by Danilo to head the ball away for Brazil. 4 minutes remain of normal time. Commentary to come. Haiti against Scotland, live from Boston on BBC Radio 5 Live and Radio Scotland as well. Gabriel's header just went up rather than away, required Fabinho to help him out. And Fabinho then tries to break up play but catches El Mourabet and gives away a free kick in a central position midway through the Brazil half. 1-1, free kick to Morocco.
Yeah, you can see a lot of tired play now, a lot of tired tackles, and Gabriel's header there, he tried to head it forward, he just went straight up in the air, put himself under pressure. Fabinho there just a bit late with his challenge as well, but I've got to say, I like the look of Bouhaddi. I think he's a really nice footballer, you know, Bouhaddi. He's sat in that midfield for Morocco, and I think he's just kept it moving along. His positional play is good. He always looks to play forward as well.
Never scored a goal in his senior career. He did score 3 for the under-16s of France and 1 for the under-21s. He was a former captain of the French under-21 side, but he's gone 88 appearances without a goal for Lille as the ball goes straight down the throat of Alisson. And from a promising position to try and test Brazil with a set piece, Morocco failed to deliver, and we've got 3 minutes remaining of added time. But he's highly rated, that is for sure. Ayoub Bouhaddi, when he made his debut against Madagascar this month, as he finds his feet at the heart of the Moroccan midfield. But he's got good energy levels, hasn't he?
No, he's good, I like him. He's a very tidy footballer. Really trying to get his wide players in the game as well, making sure, pointing at his wide players as if to say, get yourself wide, give me an option.
Talbi for Morocco. Back down the line it goes over on that far side. Just over 2 minutes remaining. This is at Riyadh. Good footwork on the halfway line. Rafinha thought he was going to go back towards the goalkeeper. Danilo though with a cutout there for Brazil. Enrique, nice cushion control on that far side, the right. Infield to Danilo Santos, who turns. Vinicius Junior, he tried the little flick round the corner and then had his legs taken away from him, but the referee said there was no foul. Brazilian supporters aren't happy with that decision, as Morocco, are they brave enough to try and venture forward in these closing stages? Still at 1-1. Hakimi. He'll venture forward at every opportunity. Break comes in field. Alisson scrambles not once but twice. The shot was fired in from distance. It was El Ainaoui who just hit it. He must have been a good 30 yards out. And Alisson was forced to dive away to his left with both hands. But it was a bouncing ball and he had to react very quickly. Because on the follow-up, Mooney was coming in and it needed to have that double save behind for a corner kick.
Did really well. Just bounced before him, made it a difficult save.
Corner kick for Morocco. By my watch, we are inside the last 60 seconds of the minimum 10 to be added on. Brazil 1, Morocco 1. Hakimi goes deep with a free kick over the head of Talbi. Diop was knocked to the floor inside that penalty area. But Morocco have picked the ball up. In it comes. Diop has stayed forward. Thought Mooney was going to have a shot there from distance. That was a vital save by Alisson.
It was, and just because it bounced just in front of him, he had to make sure and palm it away from his goal to the side so it didn't go out in front of him so anybody could come with a tap in. But then he had to react as well for the second save.
If anybody had nodded off, bearing in mind that it's 1:05 in the morning back at home, that little bit of action as that full-time whistle is sounded would have certainly woken them up. But there it is, the full-time whistle, and Brazil have extended their proud record of being undefeated in World Cup openers. 21 World Cup opening matches now without defeat. That stretches back 92 years. But it is a fourth draw to go with their 17 wins. And the two heavyweights in Group C have cancelled each other out.
Yeah, they have. I've got to say, it did dwindle out in the second half. First half was very good. Lots of energy, lots of good football as well from both sides. Second half looked a little bit leggy. They just couldn't find their feet, their rhythm as well. They completely changed the way they were playing because they must have been absolutely shattered. Quality wasn't very good in the second half at all. Nobody deserved to win the game. 1-1's about right.
Well, Morocco took the lead through Sabari after 21 minutes, and then Vinicius Junior equalised 11 minutes later, and that's the way it has stayed. Full time then here, Brazil 1, Morocco 1. Steve.
And Carlo Ancelotti is just sort of moving very, very slowly, shuffling, I'm going to say, away as a couple of the members of the Brazil technical staff give him a little pat on the back as he makes his way over to the side of the field, which has most of the Brazilian fans in the stand behind it. I managed to find, after a long, long look, the Brazilian drummers. They have a big sign in front of them which says Canarinho, Little Canaries, and they've got big horizontal green and yellow stripes, like Where's Wally kind of stripes. And they were unbelievable, but the team just couldn't match it. And actually, Dion, I don't know if you picked it up, few boos on that full-time whistle, and I bet they weren't from Morocco fans.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, a few moans and groans, but, you know, they obviously neither side's lost the game. It wasn't a very good, entertaining game in the second half. Kind of a letdown, if I'm going to be honest with you, but we've seen the quality in the first half. We know what both sides can do. I think the heat had a big, big factor in the second half, Stephen. We didn't see the best of these two sides in the second half. Dwindled away. Fans will expect better, though. They'll expect better, they'll expect sharper, and they'll both expect better results as well.
I feel like Morocco have made a bit of a point there, though, haven't they? I mean, a lot of people have looked at them at possible dark horses for this tournament. I mean, they just made Brazil look pretty ordinary, really.
I think overall, Steve, they've kind of cancelled each other out. I think Morocco have come here, they were better than Brazil in the first half. Let's get it right. Bar that little bit of magic from Vinicius Junior, but in the second half they both went a little bit negative. Ian said it as well, maybe the mindset was let's not lose what we have, and nobody really was looking to win the game.
Dion, Ian, thank you both very much indeed. Dion Dublin and Ian Dennis here at the MetLife Stadium where it is finished. Brazil 1, Morocco 1. Morocco cancelling out Brazil. That's about as big a compliment as you can give to any national team. Their players are just down in the centre circle in front of us. The Brazil players in those famous yellow shirts and blue shorts just applauding their fans away to the left-hand side.